Hello, I'm Jane and I spend time at the Casuarina and Waterfront campuses in Darwin, or you can find me online. One of my tips for success is take the time to understand your assessment tasks thoroughly. Students are often surprised by the range of assessment or assignment types they are asked to complete at university. These include exams, quizzes, essays, reports, reflections, case studies, lesson plans, research proposals, poster presentations, literature reviews, annotated bibliographies, critical reviews, lab reports, case notes, and oral presentations. And these are just examples, not a complete list. To learn more about many common assignment types, you can use the study skills resources developed by the Language and Learning team. These study skills resources include explanations, examples, practice activities, and downloadable PDFs. No matter what kind of assessment you are preparing, to understand your assessment tasks properly, you need to review a range of relevant information, including the details of your assessment task, the grading criteria, sometimes referred to as a rubric, and your unit learning outcomes. Let's start with assessment task details. Learn how to analyse your assessment tasks using keywords. Consider an essay question as an example. Here is the question. Write an essay that identifies the issues of key stakeholders who are impacted by the effects of climate change in Kiribati. Analyse and compare two distinct policy options available to the Kiribati people and recommend the best course of action. You don't want to just read the question, you want to unpack it. This question contains so much information. We unpack it by considering task words, content words, and scope. Task words in the question tell us what to do. In this question, we have many task words: write, identify, analyse, and more. Content words provide information about the specific topic we should focus on. In this example, we are being asked to focus on the effects of climate change, Kiribati, policy options, etc. Careful identification of content words will help us to stay on topic. We also want to pay attention to the scope, which limits the topic. Here, for example, we want to compare two distinct policy options, not three, and then we want to recommend the best one. By paying close attention to your assessment tasks, that is, unpacking them, you are much more likely to understand what is required of you. To learn more about unpacking assignments, visit the Language and Learning Support Team web pages and look for our workshops, live and recorded, on this topic. Please make the most of other opportunities to learn more about your assessment tasks. Ask questions in lectures and tutorials. You will also often have the chance to participate in LearnLine discussion boards about your assessments. Ask your own questions, but also review the contributions by your classmates and your lecturers. Another important aspect of preparing for assessments is understanding your grading criteria or rubric. The rubric is where you find out what your lecturer or marker is looking for. Never start an assignment without knowing the details of what you need to do and how you will be graded. Whether your rubric is simple or complex, read it thoroughly as part of your assignment preparation. And finally, think about learning outcomes. You need to understand the relationship between your assessments and your learning outcomes. Consider the example on screen from a psychology unit. The details specifically state that the assessment, an essay, is related to learning outcomes 1, 3, 4, and 5. What does this mean? The learning outcomes here tell us that in their essay, students are expected to evaluate, synthesize, and apply psychological theories to everyday issues using empirical evidence. They are also expected to evaluate major psychological concepts and theories, and so on. A simple but important message. To appreciate the full scope of what you are required to learn, don't start an assessment without reviewing your learning outcomes. Look for your learning outcomes in your unit outline, which you can find in LearnLine. Don't rush. Take the time to understand your assessment tasks fully. You won't regret it.